Good afternoon, everyone. I do believe it is still afternoon in the little Atlanta world. This is your girl, Bella, aka Linda Rigby. And I want to just say Happy New Year to all those I haven't said Happy New Year to, my Facebook friends, my YouTube friends, and everybody else. It is so good to see you. And I do mean that. I do see you. Welcome to the Bela Biz Unplugged. And let me just start out by saying happy Black History Month, as some people would say, but I say Black History Month is 365 day. Okay, so let's get started. I have ooh, I guess I say a very enticing segment for you tonight. Let's get right into it. I have someone here. I call him ChefArianPoe. He is very special to me. As you can hear in our conversation, you will hear we are friends. We've been together for years as business partners, as colleagues, and as family. So without further ado, Facebook family and my YouTube followers, let's give a round of applause to no other than Chef Arian Poe. Hey, Chef.
Greetings. How you?
I am wonderful. First of all, sir, thank you for joining us on this first segment of the Black History Month, the month of February on the 2nd of 2021. How's it going, sir?
I appreciate you. I'm just glad I'm here, ready to show up, and get this year started off right. Thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome. Let's jump right into it, Aaron. For those who've been following me for quite a while now, they know Bella likes to just get into and handle her business. But I want you to share with the audience a little bit more so they can, by the end of this segment, they will know a little bit more about you, who you are, why you are, where you've come from, and who you are today. So let's get started.
All right. First of all, my name is Chef Arian Poe. I'm an artist. I'm a gourmet chef. I'm a caterer. I'm from upstate New York. I've been here for a long time. I came back to Georgia in '95. So I graduated high school, college, got married down here, and had my children here. So I'm a Georgia transplant, if you want to call that.
Originally from Buffalo, you said?
Buffalo, New York, upstate New York.
All right.
All day.
So, Arian, I have to ask because sometimes some people are, I'm going to go there, chauvinist. Like, it's a lot of male chefs. I'm going to get right into it. Tell us or walk us through your journey or how you got to where you are today.
All right. Well, it is a male dominated field. But if you ask any real chef, they learn how to cook watching their mothers and their grandmothers in the kitchen. And I'm not exempt from that fact. We from upstate New York. I got half of my family from Alabama. I have half of my family from Pittsburgh. So you wouldn't necessarily think that, homegrown natural foods and Southern cooking styles are in New York kitchens, but you'd be wrong. My grandmother, they cooked all the time. They went. Her husband was an ex-veteran, and he basically went out. He hunted. He brought back rabbit and venison and all types of things. And I just sat back and I watched. So basically when I got out on my own, it was either be a starving artist or, hey, run to the store, get a couple guys, get some dollars together, and see what we can put together. I was always designated that person, so I just got a lot of practice early.
Let me ask you this. That's good because you mentioned family earlier, and we are definitely pro family all the way. And let's talk about mothers. I have to go there because I myself am a mother. And Aaron, you know me, and some of my audience know me. And cooking's not that I can't cook. I prefer not to cook as opposed to cooking. But I know I looked up to my mother and my grandmother. So let's talk about and get into your business a little bit. How is it for your background as far as your family?
I'm gonna tell you, when you're growing up, you don't know the inner workings of everything. But I grew up in a single mother household. My mother had me when she was 16 years old. And I'm gonna tell you like this: she hates for me to say it because now she's like, "Oh, I'm her little brother now." But listen, she couldn't be so too far away from the point that I'm making is that I love her, I appreciate her. Is not um it's not bad to look at that she had a child at 16 because she overcame mass amount of issues and problems growing up in the inner city in Buffalo, New York, where we were poor. You know, we came from the projects. You know, not a lot of people were coming up from there. You know, I had family and friends um, that life was terrible. We didn't know. You know, my grandmother made everything happen. My mother, she went out to do better things, and she came down here to Georgia to make a way. And without her, back then, showing her strength and her determination to not be stagnated by the cage that can be looped around you in a poverty-stricken areas, she overcame. You know, she came down here to Georgia and she made it right. You know, I stayed with my grandparents. You know, while she came down here and figured it out. And I all praise due to my mother. You know, single women stand up. You know, it turned into a lot because me as a father, I didn't want to be the father that didn't have their family together.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, you know, it's a dream because, you know, then you're hit with reality. You're hit with actual things. And unfortunately, you know, my first relationship didn't work. You know, I was I was the I was that guy that was outside of his father, outside of his children, and watching his kid grow up without him. You know, and you know, I didn't want that to be the end of my story. You know, uh, I fought for my son. You know, I was blessed enough to find a wife. You know, and we were on the same page, and we were determined to not only grow as a family together, but um, to raise my son. And you know, God bless me, I was able to get custody of my son a few years ago. And as a whole, our whole family is together. And it wouldn't I wouldn't be the same guy if it wasn't for my mother, if it wasn't for my grandmother, if it wasn't for my wife, you know.
Wow.
So
So I'm gonna stop you right there, Aaron, because everybody knows Bella. I like to peel back that onion, right? And you said quite monumental things, especially being Black History Month. So, you know, born in Brooklyn, Buffalo, I'm sorry, in the hood, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Single parent, values instilled into your family.
mhm,
Your mother picks up her team, your family, the tribe, and move to Atlanta. Your passion is growing, right? Because you already said earlier, you just kind of recognize something because we want to help educate Aaron, right? Because some of us are going through, don't know quite what we want to do,
yeah.
gifts and talents are within all of us, but you're moving from New York to Atlanta. Your mother wants to provide for her family. And let's talk some more about this passion growing with the cooking. So continue, sir, please.
Yeah. So to be clear, you know, my father was in my life. I respect and I love my father. You know, he was there. It's just that, you know, they weren't under the same roof. You know, we grow up thinking about the Cosby Show as an example. Like, you know, we will look at the Cosby Show for something that we really, really admired and wanted. We yearned for it because we didn't necessarily have it. You know, as a child, you don't really understand how those pieces didn't connect for you and our family. You see it on TV and you yearn for it, you know, and then when it doesn't ever work, and then you're shocked. So, you know, but that's something else. You know, the food thing, it really just came naturally. I mean, I was cooking Valentine's Day breakfasts for my mother in elementary school. You know,
Mm.
I was able to get a pound cake recipe from my great grandmother that nobody in my family could get. and I was making pound cakes with mayonnaise and eggs when I was in when I was in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
so it was like a situation where I think it was always in me. Like I talk to my friends now, and I've been a professional chef for over 15 years. You know, I've developed products. I'm an artist, so I've always tried to put the artistic spin on anything that I've ever done. And it's funny that I still have the same friends as when I was in high school down here, and they'll remember stuff like, "Hey, yo, remember when I came to your house and you ain't had no food and we just came together and you just made up." I was like, every day, people say stuff like that, and I think I was working at Ford. We were making huge profit sharing checks. I was young. I was like 19 years old, 20 years old, working at the Ford assembly plant. And people was always coming to me about getting food. Hey, get this. Hey, make this. Oh, you did this good last time. Could you do my shower? And I said to myself, hey, you know what? I'm getting great profit sharing checks and income tax
At the
checks.
same time.
Yeah, based off of that, let me figure out how to incorporate the extra income, pour it into a business, open up an LLC, and then take tax breaks. I'm thinking about, oh, I'm making this, I could do this. You know what I mean? So it came out passively. And I was doing stuff like just for fun, this supervisor here out at this place. And it was just the extra stuff.
Mhm.
Always learned from myself was that you have to do something, that you always have to make an income and make a way for your family. You have to do something that you have to do and do something that you love to do.
So I'm gonna stop you right there, Aaron, because this show, we're about freeing some souls. We're about
Okay.
unshackling some chains. And I know I've been in the entrepreneurship world, my God. One day they're hearing my story for at least 20 years, but I mean physically over the last 13. But here's where I want to go with this analogy. We talked about family, right? We
Hmm.
talked about passion, that you knew you had something in you as it relates to cooking, watching your mother, watching your grandmother, and just you had that passion. You just know what you know when you like doing something, right? And
Yeah.
so, what I want to help people, sometimes we get the wrong idea. Oh, I got to go to school, which we always encourage, whether it's a trade school, right, or traditional school, or an ad hoc school. But we are conditioned that we've got to get this education to make a living off of something we
Hmm.
like, right? So, I want to kind of dispel some myths. And again, disclaimer, we're just talking about Arian. We're diving into Arian's live. He's going to allow us to do that. But I want to show a correlation here. But let's continue. So you're in Atlanta, right? You know
Yeah.
your passion. You're working 9 to 5. You're a married man with a family, right? And you're very family oriented, but you're doing this stuff on the side, right, Arian? So
Hmm.
continue about that stuff on the side.
So yeah, well, this actually happened way before the family. I was fortunate enough to get a really really well-paying job at a young age. So I love to cook. When I was in college, it was a situation where all the girls were going to um, the art the all the girls were going to culinary classes, and I would sneak in with them, and just then I was just like, oh man, I like to cook, I can do that. Oh, I can make that better. And that was the ploy. It was like, hey, you know what? Oh, teacher did this, but hey, come to my house after, and look, I can cook that. So it was funny, but it was something that grew. And it was like, next thing you know, I'm making these cakes for people. This is years ago, before I was even because like I said, I never went to a stand-up culinary institute. My school was a art school, so they had culinary programs that you can get into, but I had already set my path. Um, so it, well, it was a situation that, yeah, I learned that the passion or the God-given gift in me was culinary, and I kept going at it. I finished my degree. I went on to work at a plant, and I wasn't even fulfilling my degree. It was like I just went through high school. Just went through college for nothing. I'm like not even doing the things that I would want to do until I started getting into management. So I just had to get my culinary thing going. I had to get I had to be. I went through so many iterations of Everyday Gourmet before it got to this. You know, it was like, oh, I'm going to be the artistic chef. Oh, I'm going to do. Oh, it was so many different things, and I was like, you know what? Let's focus on some of the things that I know and I do well. Let's take some of my stuff from work, incorporate it into my business, and push it for real.
So, Arian, let me ask you this, because everybody remembers their first. And here I go as a mother. And Arian, you know me. It's correction in a loving way. I heard you say you went to school for nothing. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because oftentimes, again, I will tell my story. I have no idea who's going to interview me, but I've had about 99 jobs. And one of them was being a admission advisor in colleges. And let me tell you something. Although you went there for one thing, right?
Yeah.
I know you learned a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, listen. I would not have been able to get into management. I would not have been like just pure skills, life skills. You do. I promote college.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if I would have followed my heart and my life, I would have probably broken the ceiling of limitation at this point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. That's good. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that disclaimer in. But my question to you is, here it goes. Everybody remembers their first thing, right? Do you remember your first professional food gig?
Yeah. So I remember that my first one is really it was the standard, because it's funny. My son's mother has a friend, and she was having a little girl, you know, and I had made cakes before and then all of this other stuff, and she was like, hey, you know, do you think you could like make me a you know, baby shower cake? And I was like, it's like, oh, I guess. I said, but what if we do something different? What if I see how many guests you're gonna make, and I make a whole bunch of little mini cakes, right? So she was like, that's a great idea. Okay. So now I'm actually getting paid for it. It's not just, hey, Arian, bring the roast and the macaroni and cheese to dinner for Thanksgiving. Here, I'll give you the money. No, this was, listen, I'm going to hire you, and this is what it is. So I was like, okay. So I made all of these like 3-layer, 4-layer mini cakes. They were like this big. They were amazing though. They had all of the different colors, and when you cut into them, it had all of these shapes and variations and everything like that. And I thought it was amazing, right? So, you know, long story short, my son is 17 now. So that he was probably 2 years old. So that tells you about 15 years ago, you know. And I reconnected with her on Facebook, because she was like, man, I saw your cakes everywhere. I'm like, whoa. And she said something that was profound. She said, just the other day, I was remembering your cakes when you made it for me for my baby shower for my daughter, because it was her daughter's birthday coming up again.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, wow, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I told her, I said, you know what? I'm a million times better than that now, you know? And she says, I can see, I'm going through your page, and I'm like, I'm amazed. But I knew that you had that talent back then. And to me, it's those that mean something to me. People tell me, hey, when I see your videos or I see your face or I see you in person, I can remember what your food tastes like. And to me, that knows I'm on a good path for something.
I love it. See, and that's what we're talking about. You know, you can have the formative years of training, right? On the job training, I always say is the best, but by far, when you have a satisfied customer, a client that's talking about and praising you and telling other people about you, that's really you really go into business. I'm going to ask you a couple of other questions, since I know we're into 2021, Arian, right? And we are still going through this pandemic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people come to me because I have a large network of people who are entrepreneurs, as you all know, business owners, self-employed, and are trying to pivot during this pandemic, and we know a lot of businesses are hemorrhaging, some
Hmm.
people are out of business. So my question to you is personally direct, how are you doing during this pandemic as a regards to you talk about your now business and what's going on with that area?
Yeah, it was difficult. I actually have inflammatory disease called sarcoidosis.
Mm,
It affects my lymph nodes. It affects my breathing, my chest, uh, and it's scary. You know, when it first started happening, we were worried. We was like, oh, I was already good. I had tons of gloves. I had tons of sprays because as far as being somebody who handles food, you have to be 10 times more clean than the average person. So,
absolutely.
going out to people's places and spraying everything down and cleaning it up, wearing masks and cleaning it up after I leave was already second nature. The thing is, not everybody is like that. And so what happens is it started to be, how could I be more transparent?
Mm,
um, how can I show people that, what? Yeah, the gloves are on all the time, even when I'm at home preparing your food, or I'm in the private kitchen. These things are being handled with care, not only for your safety, but my own. I look at my daughter, I'm looking at my son every day, and I want to be there. I want to be the father that takes them to school. I want to be the person they come through when they having difficulties. I hate to see all the people that passed, and you don't know how we're catching it, and it's like, you know what? I'm wearing masks. I had to reinvent my business. It was no more 100, 250 people, weddings and events and parties and everything like that. People are still doing them. And more power to you. But I think as a business person, I have to think about how I can navigate during this time respectfully. People think it's a joke and everything like this, but you know what? I would rather laugh about it a year from now and say, "Hey, remember when we was wearing gloves and masks to the store?" Than to be a memory, or to that my food unintentionally got somebody sick. I'm in people's homes. I'm dropping off food to people's door. So in my case, it was self-explanatory. It was like, hey, do you really want to be at the restaurant? I see people at the restaurant. They got gloves and masks. They got masks on when they walk to the restaurant. When they're waiting for their food, they have masks on. But then all of a sudden, they take their mask off when they eat.
right.
Did you have a conversation with COVID? Did they say, hey, I'm just gonna wait on the outside of your table? No, they didn't. So a great option is to have a private chef. So a lot of people that I started doing big events for, I started doing smaller events. I started changing the way that the business operates on a small level, but it ended up allowing me to be 10 times more efficient, um, focused on everything that is meticulous, on everything being exact and perfect, in my timing. So now, whereas I can only cater one event a day. I have about two or three employees. Now I can jump through with two events in a day if I needed to. I'm dropping off 3 and 4 deliveries of cakes and
Mhm.
sweets and boxes. And Valentine's Day is coming up. It's one of the craziest times, but I have a situation where I can deliver gourmet chocolate boxes with chocolate covered strawberries and champagne and roses. One of my clients right now is a situation where he wants to surprise his wife. He doesn't. His wife is attached to the hip. They work together. They at the house together. They everything else. I'm like, look, don't worry about it. You want flowers? Yeah. You want roses? Yeah. Let's build. Let's create an experience for you. So I think that with businesses
Yes.
that are struggling, you this disease or this virus or everything else is something that's unconventional. So you have to dig deep and figure out what you can do for your business to expand it in a different way. You can't go by the normal means and think you're going to be successful. You have to say, let me think out of the box. Let's see. Hey, you know what? I'll come to your house. I'll clean up the area. I'll come in 30 minutes or less, an hour, and I'm out. You can purchase the sternos. If you want to have more than 10 people, that's fine. I'll come before everybody comes, set everything up, and I'll leave. Then, I won't, then it'll be that situation. And it's been working. God
That's good.
bless. Yeah, God
All
bless
right.
a great support system, and my wife, my mother, especially my pastor, my in-laws. They really, really look out for me on an everyday basis with my children. I was able to really sincerely. My daughter is 4,
Okay.
and she's gifted. So we wanted to use her in a situation. We didn't want her to go to pre-K or anything like that. We wanted to give her in school um,
Love
teach.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so now she's in Abeka, and she's doing classes, and I'm able to teach my daughter every day while I'm here. I'm here in the presence, teaching her while I'm doing what I love. My wife, she's going out to um, she has to go to her building every day and work. And so, me being here while I'm working, I'm able to teach my daughter. It's amazing. My son is here. He's in school. It's just a beautiful thing. But I had to take the leap of faith first. I
That's
had to
good.
jump
So
there and do
let me stop you, Aaron. You know, we always about teachable moments on the Bela Biz Unplug. And I'm going to just piggyback on a few things you said. And it's about encouraging, right?
it.
So we have a large audience out there, and our strength is really in the replays, right?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many people are watching. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to say this. First of all, thank you, Arian. One, for being transparent. And I'm going to say, I know that you are a man of God, right?
Yes.
Because when
Yes.
you have, right, that spiritual support mechanism and belief, as I like to call it, through him, we absolutely know all things are possible. And during this pandemic, as you and I know, we have similar circles of friends, network, and colleagues, right? And there's
Mhm.
people still going through
Yeah.
the panic mode of, oh my God. And we recognize that, right? In the flesh realm, that we got
Hmm.
bills, car notes, things. They have
Yes.
to be taken care of. But we talk about all the time spiritual awareness. Look what's in your hand? What is
Yes.
your gift? What is your passion? And I applaud you publicly because,
Thank you.
like myself, I know you left your job as well to
Yes.
fulfill your passion full time. And we know it ain't easy, but you did it. So let me say thank you. I'm giving you flowers now. Number two, and number one, really, God is number one. You're talking
Yeah.
about your family. And I don't know if mom's on here or not watching, but if she is, God bless you, Lenore, because you have an awesome son. I will go there because I know this man personally, and he's always giving his mother, who raised him, kudos. And I just applaud you for that. See, I'm going somewhere with this, Aaron, because when you give your life, come on now,
Hmm.
and you're true about it,
Yes.
God will definitely reward you back because
Yeah.
family is almost first. I got Diana Mora, who you know who Diana is. She's saying the
Yes.
favor of God surrounds you as a shield and will always be blessed of the Lord. Always. We know that. That's biblical principle. And we're going to keep going with this story because people need to understand because we're about freeing some people, right? Because we're
Yeah.
empowered to prosper, Arian, and what we don't do as a people. I can talk the talk and walk because I've been there, right? It's fear.
Hmm.
Come on, Aaron. It's fear.
Yes.
For
It
lack of a better
is.
word, I have a book that I'm still working on. I cannot wait to get it out there. And it's called Tied to a Track. Okay? Because I was fearful. You know it, Aaron. I'm going to go back. You spoke into my life, I want to say about 6 years ago. And I am going to go somewhere with this story. So hang with me, family. This is all relevant. This is
Shout out to
no.
my mom manager real fast though. She just chimed in. I love you, mother. You know it.
All right, Lenore Hawkins is Arian's mother publicly. She's his mom. I love it. That's his. I'm telling you, she's
And,
definitely his mom manager. But
and
I'm gonna
Diana too. Diana too. That's my stepmother. But I don't like to say stepmother. I just
love
like
it.
to say mother.
And
She's
this
a
is what we
phenomenal
talking
person.
about. We're talking
Yes.
about a blended family right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a support systems, my family. It takes a village, my family. And
Yes.
we're going to
Yes.
encourage people tonight who, whatever their passion is, do it. Don't wait
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
endorsements and validation from other people. If you know what you know, what you know inside, move forward with it. As we like to
Mm-hmm.
say, fail moving forward, but do something. Arian, I want to give you something that and take you back because I'm feeling the spirit right now, and I do mean that very
Okay.
high. This is Black History Month, and I'm very intentional. This is day 2, although I always say Black history is 365 days a year. We are an amazing people. Shout
Yes.
out. No shade on anybody else, but we as Black people, we are amazing. We go through unsurmountable, right, challenges. And I want to take you back to, we were with Reverend Rowe, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe we had an event and you catered the event, and you and
Yeah.
I went on the sideline. If you remember, I came to get
Yeah.
some tea. I was down and you was down, but we met up, if you remember.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you said, yo, Lynn, because you know I'm one of your mother's besties, right?
Yep.
He was like, man, I said, Aaron, I'm having a rough day. And we were in a positivity event, if you remember. And
Mm-hmm.
we started sharing some personal things, but won't share it all. But
Yeah.
you encouraged me, Arian, and I encourage you right in that spot on moment. You remember what I'm
Yep.
talking about?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I think about that because you were sharing with me what your goals and aspirations were, and I was sharing with you what my goals and aspirations, and we were both there, right?
Is
And
the
we were there. It
energy.
was Lanita Mitchell. Remembers Lanita
Yep.
Mitchell?
Yep.
Reverend Rowe was that circle.
Yep. Look, positivity begets positivity. Because look,
Come
I'm
on.
gonna tell you like this. I remember the day. With me, I'm big on energies and feelings and everything like that. And I knew you, but on this level, I remember looking at you, and it felt like your light was dim. You know what I mean? And I'm full on the fact that if I can compliment you, or if I can, it doesn't cost anything to be a cool individual. You know what I mean? It's free 99 to come over and say, "Hey, your hair is great. I love your hair. Your glasses is popping." That means absolutely that can mean the world to somebody. But it's something simple. And I remember I felt something with you, and I was just like, "Yo," because I remember I was down. I was down. And I always felt like instead of letting the down envelop me, I was going to pick everybody else up around me and pick myself up, because I can give you compliments. I didn't need a compliment, but if you smiled, then I felt better. You know what I mean? So then, and that was my ascension, because I gave myself to the Lord, and He says, you give everything to the Lord, and that's all you'll need, and he'll give to you. You replenish. He replenishes you, and I lived by that. I live by putting myself out, giving everything that I have, and not doing it with the intention that it's going to come back. Doing it because I felt it, because I looked at you and I felt like, man, who knew that 6 years down the line we would be here.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It mattered that I felt something on you, and hey, you know what? We can connect, because if my mother love you, then I love you, and
Arian, I'm going
then
to say that day, it's about testimonies, right? Changed my life. It sounds cliche, cliquish, because I was down
yeah,
in my spirit at a positivity, upbeat, as Diana said, moment, but I wasn't feeling it. This is where the village comes along, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
where you just said it takes nothing to compliment, and I mean nothing. And we have got to, as a people, get back to that as a tribe, right?
Yeah.
Because you lifted me up. I never forgot the Aaron, as you well can see today. It's a connection that you and I had. I said,
Yeah.
God damn, my bro hooked me up with you just
Yeah.
right. And we've been like this ever since. And
Ever
I'm going to
since.
do
Yeah.
something else as we segue because we're about saving, changing, shackle freeing. I'm going to give a shout out. This is absolutely unscripted to Diana Morrow. I
Yeah.
knew her as Diana Harrison. And yes, I'm going to say on this recorded line, Diana and I had a history. She was one of the first people that hired me in a non-traditional corporate job. You don't even know this, Arian.
Really?
Diana was managing, and I'm gonna keep it real because this is all relevant to topics, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Diana was managing what I call an elite membership club for home products, right? For customization, something I never knew anything about in Georgia. We won't go with the name, but she worked for a company.
Yeah.
I believe it was called Total UCS. I can't remember it, but my point is she hired me. Unbeknownst, I was tired of corporate America, wanted something different to do. Long story short, Diana gave me an opportunity to pretty much self-managed. Felt weird the whole time, the space and all, because I've never been in it. But I learned a lot. And Diana was going to a very prominent church down here. I'll say it, World Changers. But what I
Mm-hmm.
want to give a shout out to Diana for is she was the first person, she doesn't even know it, in my adult life that helped me to have accountability and to be conditioned, right?
Wow.
Regiment.
Wow.
And I would watch Diana as this woman of faith. I wasn't there. I'll be the first to admit I was not where she was. And that's what we're talking about tonight, Arian and family. Legacy, supporting
Yes.
each other. I watched Diana not speak the word, she was the word.
Yes.
So shout
She
out to you,
exudes it.
Diana.
Yes.
Diana was the first motivational speaker I knew, and I can go on and on and on. My point is, Diana, thank you, because she believed in me even when I did not believe in myself, and I was lost. Very
Wow.
proud to say I was lost. So people make a difference. You never know who's watching who, right, Arian? So let's
Mm-hmm.
continue our journey. We've got a good amount of time left, and I want the audience to interject because we are feeling something there. It is 2021, people. Stay woke.
Yes.
Wake up, I say. We are not doing business as normal. I got one of my colleagues and sister girls on the line there, Michelle Gibson out of Tennessee. I got a whole tribe and network. We work together in Zone A Productions. I'm always, you better bet it, I'm going to shout out everybody because guess what? It ain't about me. I know that because when you sow, you reap what you sow. Here, we're going somewhere with this area, and this is all
Yes.
unscripted. And I'm feeling something here tonight, and we have got to start with these conversations. Stop feeling like I got mine, you got yours to get. No, everybody got a little something, something. And
Yeah.
we can all bring it to the table. I'm gonna read some of these comments, and I want you to continue to inspire people. Aaron, I've got Michelle Gibson saying the village that compliments is so important, and Michelle is right. She's always complimentary. I see Lenore, your mom, saying awesome testimony. We all have testimonies, Lenore. I see Diana saying, glory be to God. Love you, Linda. And I love you right back, Diana. I tell you, I'm speaking as I see my spiritual mother on here, Gwen McClellan out of LA. Hey, what's going on, California? Gwen is saying, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all things will be added. Hey, we got to
Yes.
talk
That's the
about this,
word.
Aaron,
That's
because
the
this
word.
is Black History Month. I say that differently. This is February 2nd, 2021, and we can talk about all the things. We can talk about the insurrection. We can talk about number 46. We can talk about the first African-American woman as vice president, and that's all good, and it's in its own context. But tonight, family, we talking about family. We're
Yes.
talking about business. We're talking about you don't have to go to a traditional school. And Aaron, I want you to talk about finances because I know for me, I use my own. Some people say, oh, I can't start a business. I got to have money. I got to get a loan. I got to get a grant. No, you don't. So talk about that a little bit as far as how you got started with your business.
First, I want to shout out my pop too. I love you. You might. I mean, like I said, we can always go back and say, my mother she raised me, like she raised me. She had me. She had custody of me. She put me through school. But my father, he wanted me also. So when I was going into middle school, I was down here. I moved down here. My mother made a way for us, and I always wanted to be with my dad. It was like I need to be with my father. I want to be with him. And then she was like, "Well, your dad, he want to come down here and get you." My dad drove from New York with a couple of his pals and just came and got me. It was like a thunderstorm or something. It was crazy. When I get into all of the negativity behind, that it was just a beautiful thing. It was, I was able to live with my father and I think that part of it made me realize, what, I can get my son, even though it was problems. I was able to get my son, so I just had to get that out of the way because that was on my mind because my pop. When I
Sure.
saw he was there, I had to say something. But yeah, no, no, no. I'm far from rich. I'm
Mhm.
far from financially secure. I have a very strong support system. A lot of better off people can say, "Oh, I'm just going to go to the bank and get a loan and take care of my startup costs." No, I couldn't do that. I was head of research and development at Continental, and it was a situation where my commute would have turned from 15 minutes to 2 hours on a bad day. So I didn't have any backing or anything. We had just built the house. It was crazy. I just built the house. We just had a daughter. After years of fighting and going back and forth, I finally got custody of my son. So I asked God for these things. I prayed every day when I was in the depths of my hurt feelings that I could get these things, and He gave them to me at a time, and then everything else was taken from me. That's how I felt. I felt like, oh
Mhm.
man, God gave me everything I ever prayed for, and then all of a sudden, the financial means to take care of it was stripped away. And it took a second, probably like a day, and I
Yeah.
and I slapped myself. I said, nah, the God has given you your hands. He's giving you your mind. He's giving you your family around you. He's giving you the support system of your wife or your mother, of your family, that I was able to take my business that was already rolling and inject new life into it and take it to a whole nother level. I started to be smarter about how I charge. I started managing my books better. I started, doing things and getting stock and creating products that people can have that can be a passive income.
Right.
So I started injecting my business in a lot of different ways. Like I said, you have to think outside the box. So I started to manufacture a seasoning blend that is getting a lot of steam. It's like seasoning blend started getting going. Then I was like, well, what? I can make gourmet snacks. I can make treats. I can make chocolates. I started expanding in so many different ways because I didn't want to be, oh, well, this person, nobody wants catering anymore. Oh, I'm just going to bury my head in the sand. No, you know what? My pop was a state trooper in New York. My mother, paralegal in the male dominated societies. And she was strong enough to get going and push forward. I had two strong gene pools that poured into me and created me. I would be doing every one of my ancestors and my family a disservice if I didn't take what God gave me and push forward and push it to the pin and then do whatever I can to make it. It's not easy. But you work towards your business, you start setting your goals, you set small goals, and then you set your large goals. And then once your small goals add up, and then you put them into your big goals, and you say, okay, you know what? Now I can get that printer. Now I can get that vehicle that I need. Now I can get bottling for my season. Like, you have to start small, but you have to start. A lot
That's
of
it.
people, yeah, a lot of people, they think about all the things and reasons why they can't do it, and they never do it. You have to not be like that. You have to say, you know what, if it's something that I can start right today, then I'm going to do it. Because if I steamroll it and I don't stop moving and I don't let society stop me, then I'm going to get to my goal. You have to be determined. You have to figure out what you can do to change it, and it's in you. You know.
Absolutely. I like that. I know we have some teachings that we share, and that's with Reverend Rowe. And it's always kind of all on joy. It's already done. And so what we have to really see is the manifestation, right, of the positivity that God's already given us. And I thank you, Aaron. What I'm going to do right now is take the opportunity, because I know people don't know what they don't know. I want you to share with the team, the audience, the family, what you offer. I know you offer a lot. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time, because they're seeing the scrolling continuously of your handlers. But I want them to hear what you have to offer, Aaron. And for those who are joining in, this is an awesome family chat, right? This is impromptu. This is not scripted. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about opportunities and passions that we each all have. Some of us know what it is and we're working in I call the anointing, and some of us don't. And it's okay, because those who don't, been there, done all of that, right? It's an everyday work progress. And the Bela Biz Unplugged, this is the first of many series. We're acknowledging and we are supporting and we are happy to be a part of the Black History Month. Although we say Black History Month is 365 days out of the year. And I tell you, Aaron, when I say something, I do it. I
Yeah.
plan on highlighting as many entrepreneurs, women and men of color. So if you're available, reach out to Bela, because I'm about positivity and showing, right, the family, the world, tradition, that we are here, we are relevant, we are great in what we do, and we have to keep it within the family. Because right now I'm thinking about Rosewood. Back in the day, in the 1900s, early, we were everything, and we still are, and we flourish, Aaron, and you know that, Aaron, from history. We had our own banks and opportunities, and we had our own businesses, and we had our own communities. I'm thinking about Madam C.J. Walker, who I had the pleasure of interviewing, her great-great-granddaughter. We talking about legacy. We all have it, and it's important. So, Aaron, I want you to take a few minutes, slow it down, because I'm all about promoting and edifying. Let the audience and the family know what you have to offer. And if you go in different states, because we've got California, Maryland, DC, Virginia, it's outside of the Georgia area, just talk about what you do and how we can get some of your business.
Okay, so like I said before, I'm an artist. So I took my art and combined it with my love for cooking, and I created Everyday Gourmet. Everyday Gourmet is a brand, is my brand, is my catering company. I basically do gourmet. I'm a gourmet chef for anything for 2 people up to 10 people. Catering events. As many as you can think of. My company is COVID compliant, so if the amount of people exceed certain sensibilities, I'm able to come out, set up your food, and leave. I don't want to ever feel like somebody can't get what they want, because customers are always right. I make decadent custom treats, cakes, theme cakes. I have a cake right now that's been going through the rounds. It's a Gravity Falls strawberry cake, where I'm doing all of the drip and the chocolate drips and the colors and the flavors. I do small desserts. I do mini cupcakes and really, really artistic chocolates. So anything that you can think of as far as food goes, yes, please contact me. I saw somebody on here say something about the Valentine's Day specials.
Yes.
If you go to my pages, Facebook, ChefArianPoe.com, go through my photos. is another one. It's connected to Chef Arian Poe. Is EG Cakes and Confections. You can go on there and make a and contact me. You have I'll send you all some menus. Um, Show you a couple of different things. In the next couple of days. Um, I'll be posting the Valentine's Day specials with chocolate covered strawberries and treats and cupcakes and flowers, champagne, whatever you can think of. Make it a special time because I'm telling you, uh, during this time, the person that you're with, the person that you love, it doesn't matter if it's just your mother or your wife or your significant other. It can be a thank you to somebody. Show some people that you love them. Don't do the same thing. Give them something special. I pride myself in creating an experience with my
Yeah.
client.
And
So
let's stop right there because I want to encourage the sisters out there. I don't like the term the lonely club, right? It's not about when Valentine is
no,
coming back. And we realize a lot of these are man-made holidays. We don't discriminate. We're not trying to inflict
yeah,
anything personally on anyone. But women, hey, come on, Arian. You got moms and dads and grandma moms and knee mamas and them. I mean, and girlfriends, just I know sometimes we get caught up on the man-woman relationship thing, and
yeah.
I get it, right? And some people, sometimes this is a depressed time for some people too. Oh, I don't have a boo. But Aaron, speak to that. I mean, your food is amazing.
Thank you. Look,
Amazing.
treat yourself. Look,
Yes.
you matter. Look, if I'm talking to somebody out there right now and they feel like their relationships didn't fail, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe you don't need to be searching for a relationship. Maybe you need to invest some of that energy into yourself. You know, don't let a Valentine's Day take any kind of joy away from yourself. Treat yourself. I'll come out. I'll come out and I'll pull up and I'll make you feel special with some great food first. Get some chocolate covered strawberries for yourself. Get a bottle of champagne. Yo, on Valentine's Day, you don't have somebody, make it about you.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel like you can't. That's my thing. You know. So yeah, of course I'm gonna promote the business, but I'm really into making people feel better. Like
Yes.
it's as simple as that.
And I tell y'all, he got make a me's. I love my spinach dip, Aaron. Don't get me started
Yeah.
because I am your biggest fan. So we're talking about Arian seasons his own blends, right? He's got seasons available. He's an awesome dessert. I say dessert. I'm old school, Aaron. The dessert connoisseur. You guys go to my page. I tried to capture some of the pictures, but God, I'm gonna tell y'all, I was up 3 o'clock in the morning. True story, y'all. For those who know me, trying to go through all the food, I was getting hungry. I was trying to pick the best top 5, Aaron, and it was hard. I'm like, oh
Yes.
God, this man's got like pages and pages and pages of this delectable food, and it looks good, and my God, it tastes good. So, Aaron, we do seasons. You got your own
Yeah.
brand of seasons. You got the definitely the dessert thing. That show them, Aaron. That's right. Y'all see
So
that?
yeah, so it's it's getting there. It's getting there. I had put it out for a little test, and it was selling out before I could. First, I wanted to address Rhonda
Yes, so
Rome.
we got. I'm sorry. Let me
Yeah,
let me get on my
I
job.
saw your
So
commentary. I didn't want to act
Rhonda
like I didn't
Rome.
see.
Let me shout out. Rhonda Rome was really my first shout out to Rhonda. I'm gonna say it till kingdom come. Rhonda was my first major sponsor on the last
Mm,
episode, and she's out of North Carolina area, and she's saying,
uh-huh.
do you source out to other black businesses? She is a broker, so be careful, Aaron. She's got some clout up in here.
I do. I do. So just like in situations where I have a catering license to cater for individual places. Um People come to me first. A lot of people come to me for their food because they want to make sure they're having some bomb food before they even have their event space. So a lot of times out they'll come to me and they'll say, "Hey, you know what? Um I know we're gonna get your food, but I need a videographer. I need a photographer. I need a DJ. I have select few people that I will on a regular basis promote to. Telly Brown, probably one of the best photographers in Georgia, and he's located right out here in Conyers in Covington. Um, um, and I'm up to partnerships. So if your black business uh, needs to hire or have a chef on hand that they can look, I do have a chef for this event. Here, I'm this. Boom. Yes, I'm open to it, and I promote them on a regular basis.
So, Rhonda, please reach out to Arian. I mean, we have his information on the ticker. We're going to continue scrolling. We got about 4 to 5 more minutes. I want to be a good steward of time, but I want to get these things in. I mean, Arian, again, I am not saying it to be saying it. I am proof positive. I ask Arian all the time, you need a taster? Call me, bro, because I'll come on over and taste everything. I'll get this hurt stomach later, but I'll taste now. So I hope that answers your question, Rhonda. Now, Arian, I know I'm gonna put you on blast.
Okay.
Now, I know back in the day you were working on a lot of different personal things. For those people, I was in that class that didn't want to cook. You was doing some weekly
yes
prepping food. So I want you to go back one more time and let these people know what you can do, what services you offer. Do you still do that?
So right now, like I said, I have 3 seasoning blends. It's a winter blend. That's my flagship seasoning. It's a pack of 3. So it's winter, spring, and summer. Summer is a barbecue rub. Spring is like Latin inspired, and winter is an Italian inspired seasoning blend. You can contact me. You can get, and I'll send you out 3 of the seasonings so you can try them. You know, they're really, really great. I do. I have a spinach dip that you were talking about, a mango salsa that's coming to the market. That's that's amazing.
Oh God.
Yeah, so, you know, my pastor. You know, I haven't said her name yet. Rowena Silvera Beck. She is the battery in my life. She is helped me expand my thinking. And she told me a long time ago, she said, you have so many different things, put it out there, let people get it. If they taste it, go for it. You know, to order your seasonings, you can go to my website, www.ChefArianPoe.com. If you want to get to me directly, get to me on Facebook at Chef Arian Poe on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all of that. Just get me on my inbox and I'll exchange information and then we'll go from there. That's the quickest way to get to me. But as far as like coming out to you, yeah, I go every state. It doesn't matter. I drive, I'll fly, I'll bring my stuff down. North Carolina, I have events there all the time. Florida, New York, I'll fly if I have to. But I take care of the business. You know, I make sure that I am. And Rhonda, yes, the cookbook is coming. I'm doing for Amazon Prime. I'm doing chapters at a time, so those are coming out. I do meal prep. I do family meals. I do private gatherings. I do personals. Is a lot of I have a crew of massage therapists, and they have situations where they might be doing a couple, and they want to do a massage for somebody to come to their house, and they want a private chef to come to the house and serve their guests, you know, or serve the couple. I do it all. So anything that you can think of, I'm on it. So
that's good. Shout out. I'm going to call some people out because we're about connecting. Everybody knows that is what Bela Biz. I know what God put me here. I am a conduit. I'm a messenger sent by God. I'm about connecting people. Karen Harvey's out there. That's my soror. She's out of the DC DMV area, and she's like, I'm going to check you out. Karen also is very powerful. She's a broker as well, like Rhonda. They are very powerful people. They're empowered to help people, right? They don't just sell homes. They help our community. And Karen, I'm going to tell you, she's a soror. And you know I'm AK, Aaron. She's very well connected. I know what I know. I'm putting Karen out there because when Karen says something, she does it. So that's a connection. Thank you, Karen Harvey. Check out Chef Aaron. He is the real deal. I've got my brother Cornell saying, shout out to you. Great show. But above my skill level, still learning. Now I have to give a shout out. I'm going to be real brief. We're going to take a few extra minutes. So y'all hang with me. I respect everyone's time, but my brother Cornell could get down, right? I mean, in his own way. He's got a little something, something. I grew up with 5 brothers, and Cornell's one of 5, and he said he's still learning. We always learning, brother.
Always
But,
learning.
I was that type. I'm gonna lick them pans. I'm gonna be your chaser, and I'm gonna wash them dishes, Arian. Okay,
Right.
that's what I'm good at. But Arian, as we start to close out, people are coming in. It's going to replay and people will see your information. I want you to inspire as we always do. I want you to share as we close out the last 2 minutes of some closing remarks, because this has been absolutely family, right? And you said a whole lot of things. You put God first. It's all about family. You're a businessman, but you're a family man. You have a family and you have a community. So I want you to kind of close out with just some lasting comments. And I want people to absolutely check Arian out. He's the real deal. So Arian, I want you to close us out.
All right. Hire a dope chef. I want y'all to remember that, because, that's my moniker. Everyday Gourmet is my catering company. My name is ChefArianPoe. You can find me on Facebook at ChefArianPoe or EG Cakes and Confections. I specialize in outrageous, colorful, impractical, new things. I want to give everything a gourmet twist. I want to make you feel special when you eat. I want you to feel like you felt the love that I put and injected into this food, into my treats, into my snacks, into my edibles, into my cakes, anything that you can think of. Come to me for something awesome. In the next year, I'm opening up my YouTube channel, so follow me. I'll be posting more and more about that. It's going to show through my regular everyday routines, just grinding, thinking of my process and how to get everything out. I'm on Instagram at As the World Revolves Around Poe. So get at me. I put a lot of different content on there. I'm just on TikTok, so I'm playing around with the little videos and everything now to show people, just how far I'm gonna go. So get ready for the ride. Contact me. Don't just get on my inbox. Get to my website. Follow me. Big or small, I'll bring it to your door. I'll pull up and turn your event up. That's the way I roll.
So I'm going to put you with one last charge as we close out. It's 7:03. I'm always respecting time. Arian, here I go. This is Black History Month, day 2, right? And I'm about my people. I'm about us. So I want you to leave your heart, a piece of it, with the ancestry, where we are, knowing that we're standing on the shoulders of so many before us. Just whatever's coming to your heart as we close out and what you're doing. Share some nuggets with some folks as we close out, Arian.
I just want everybody to understand that no matter if you're Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you matter. Don't let this society, this COVID, this time of this insurmountable fear and unknowing stop your determination. Stop for a second. Slow down. Take check of yourself. See the people that surround you. You have everything. You seek the Lord and he will provide. You have utmost faith in your path. Go for it. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't. Nobody's gonna jump in on your business and give you $1 million. Fight for it. Grind till you can't sleep, till you can't eat, until you know that it's going for it. Your ancestors looking at you, your parents, your kid, if you have any, your friends, they look up to you and say, go for it. Nobody can do it but you. And I tell myself that on a regular basis. People always think, I drop these little nuggets on Facebook. I'm telling somebody something. No, I'm talking to myself. I say to myself, I got something that the people want. I got something that the people need to hear. I got something that people need to taste. And it all starts with myself and God first. So God first can never be second. If you living wrong, money can never correct it. So seek God first.
Arian, I love you, my brother. I love you, family. This is Bela Biz Unplug, the first of many series. You guys have a great evening. Be safe, stay COVID compliant, and God bless you all. Good night.
God bless.